welcome to a session I'm calling Heartbreak Pilates. Maybe not heartbreak, maybe more like heart mending Pilates. Not necessarily for heartbreak, it could be for homesickness, or if you're upset for any reason. This will be a program to address those emotions. We'll be doing heart openers, hugging exercises, side bends to release tension through the rib cage, balances to increase focus, inversions to change our perspective, power poses to shift our energy. I'm also going to utilize some essential oils. Finding a seated position, let's breathe in, reaching up high, and exhale down. Just opening our practice with some breath work, tuning in. Breathing in and up, lift tall, exhale, let it go, drop it down. Let's interlace fingers, press palms to the sky, hands behind the head for our first heart opener. Lean back, drop the head into those palms, look up and breathe in. Take it over into a side bend. Hand behind the head for more openness, deeper stretch, more breath. Switch sides. Let the tightness in the ribs dissipate with that inhale, blood flow, circulation, using the breath. Exhale, let go of tightness, tension, upset emotions. And let's find our first oil. I'm using a citrus oil. It's an orange citrus oil to promote brightness, happiness, energy. 3 drops in the palm. We'll circle it around 3 times and we'll breathe in. Maybe thinking a happy thought. It could be simple, like what a beautiful day, what a lovely breeze. I love my hairstyle, anything that is positive and uplifting. Let's press up to the sky and just opening that aroma out to the side. I'm rubbing the residual oil into my low back, letting it absorb into the body and into the back of the neck. Have some space behind you as we find a seated balance. Balances help us focus, keep us present. They combat that wandering mind. So you're not able to think of other things. You have to focus on your balance. Let's straighten the legs, stretch the arms. Now hug the knees in. A lot of self-love poses here. Hugging, drop forehead to knees. Think a happy thought if you can. Drop feet down and start to roll through the spine so you're on your back on the mat, stretching arms and legs long, total body stretch. Just shaking out the legs. Repeating that hugging motion, knees to chest. Let's hug the arms around the legs, rocking it out, feeling comfort and security and safety. Breathe in to that emotion, to those emotions. Lifting head, neck, and shoulders so forehead and the knees come closer together. Abdominals flex. Drop feet, knees hip width apart, hands move to the back of the head. And let's get into that midsection. Flexing up with an ab curl, inhaling down. Exhale up, exhale up. Just bringing a pillow between my knees for some inner thigh squeeze. And pulse at the top. A little quicker. Energizing midsection, bringing some breath, some focus, some fire into that core. Let's reach the arms long. Start that pulsing, pumping action as we move into our Pilates hundreds exercise. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Breath work is different and very specific. 5 short inhales through the nose, 5 exhales through the mouth. Keep that going. Try lifting legs either into tabletop or straight up to the sky. Keep flexing up higher and higher. And inhale, reach up, and exhale, flex, dropping arms by the side. Inhale up, exhale, curl. Inhale up, exhale, curl. Legs are still, stabilized. Stay at the top for one more little moment. And lower it down, hug the knees in, rock it out, let it go. Exerting and then resting. Letting the body and mind respond to each activity. Total body stretch. Flex the feet. Let's roll up into sitting, lifting tall. Arms to the sky, folding over those legs. Breathe in. And exhale. Explore that forward bend pose. Any tension you feel in the body, let's breathe into that. And exhale, try to release that physical tension, that emotional, mental tension. Using a towel under the knees for a little extra knee support. Round the back, arch the back. Let the head drop as you round and lift as you arch. Connect with your breath. And let's move into downward dog. Being upside down, getting a new perspective, a new viewpoint. Let your mood shift with this new world view. Bending one knee and then the other. Arms long, pressing strong. Let's anchor heels down. Breathe into this upside down world. Walking feet closer. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to fold into the legs, bending one knee, then the other, alternating. And let's hug the legs from here. Pulling the chest, the trunk of the body closer to the legs. Requires some balance, some introspection. Switching the way that the arms are hugging the legs. Let the head drop. Let the knees bend. And slowly roll on up, standing tall. Roll the shoulders at the very top. Take up a lot of space now for some power posing, for some confidence boosting, some self-esteem promoting, goddess pose. External rotation, let the knees bend out to the side, and let's open those arms into a wide T. Palms up, open the arms even wider. Let your body take up this space. Find a mudra connecting the thumb and the index finger together. Sink the hips a little lower if you can. Lift the arms higher into a V. Looking up, breathe into this openness, into this space. Arms down to a T-pose, little wider. And let's bring elbow on top of one knee, straightening opposite leg as we reach up and overhead into side angle pose. Look to the sky, that openness of the side body, breath into ribs. Focus on the movement of the rib cage as you inhale and exhale. Let's take that side angle pose to the other side. One variation of this side angle is that the straight leg, the foot of the straight leg, the toes are pointed out as opposed to pointing forward. This is because our focus is the lengthening from the tips of those toes through the hip and side body, shoulder to fingertips. Get that nice long line of energy. And come back into goddess. External rotation has been maintained. Pop one heel and the other. Increase your balance, your focus and concentration. Maybe a soft smile as we lift the arms higher, wider V. Heels drop, palms press up to the top. And then fold over those legs, parallel feet. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold down, interlace the hands up and overhead. Chest opener, shoulder opener. When we're emotional, our shoulders have a lot of tension and tightness. So we'll be addressing some of that through stretches and poses like this that incorporate chest openers, heart openers. Bring the palms down to the ground, heel toe the feet closer together. Hands on hips as we press all the way up to standing. Single leg standing balance. Lift one foot away from the ground. Let's lift that knee higher and hug it into the body, nice and close, feeling strong and safe. Find the bottom of the foot if you can, and let's open this up into another power pose / yoga pose. Extend the leg out to the side, opposite arm reaching wide, palm open, fingertips alive. Look away from the leg if you can. Draw those abdominals in. Keep pressing down in that bottom stabilized leg. Lift the free arm a little higher, maybe the leg as well. And slowly lower, bringing that floating leg behind you. Reach up for that top hand, and let's take this into a side body bend, looking down or up. Feel that line of energy from top fingertips to bottom of the foot. Come back to standing and center, hands to the low back, pushing hips forward, standing heart opener. Let the head fall back and the chest lift up and the heels anchor down. Slowly return to center. Take a moment, take a breath. Squeeze the shoulders, and with your exhale, let that go. Holding in tension and tightness. Leg number 2, float it up. Establish your balance in your focus point. And lift the knee higher as you hug it in towards the body. Feeling steady and stable. Safe and supported. Rotating into that external rotation. Find bottom of the foot or ankle, calf, wherever you can hold. And open that leg out to the side as the other arm reaches enthusiastically away, looking away from that floating leg. Lift the arm a little higher, stay calm and balanced, controlled, fearless. Maybe looking up a little higher. Stay with it. Gracefully release, bringing that leg behind you, keeping heel popped, and move this into a side bend. Reaching bottom hand up to hold the top hand, pulling more stretch and length out of that hip flexor, side body, through the rib cage, lats, shoulders, arm. Looking up just to increase our balance and focus challenge a little bit more. Keep the breath steady. Palms together. Let's look up and try that standing back bend again. Arcing the spine back, anchoring heels down, releasing arms, and restoring the spine to neutral. Lift heels from here, open arms wide. Power pose, floating mountain. If you fall, just keep trying again. It is not about the pose, it is about the effort. Try a mudra, connecting thumb to fingertip. Maybe a little smile. As the poses change, the breath stays the same, consistently flowing in and out, as in life. As life changes affect us, the breath stays the same. Fold over those legs, come to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift the chest forward, and exhale, take one big step back, letting that knee drop down. As we move into a lunge. Tension in the hips is related to our emotional state of mind. Hands on hips, we're doing these slow, subtle, controlled pulses, coming up a millimeter, dropping down into the lunge. Front leg doing a lot of strengthening work to stabilize. Reach the arms up. Let the spine back bend. Palms together, breath in. Look forward or up. And let's side bend, dropping one hand down to the ground and side bending over that front leg. Both hands down. Walk the foot over and drop the knee down, moving into pigeon pose. Press the hands down, walk the hands closer towards the hips to get that back bend, that hip stretch, looking up to the sky. Let the jaw be free, the face unreactive. And your next exhale, lengthen, elongate forward and over that front leg, coming down onto elbows, resting forehead, or extending the arms straight. Take a few breaths here. If the breath feels shallow, try to release any holding or gripping on your next exhale. See if your next inhale, there's more space to breathe into. Walk the hands back in. Press down and move that front leg back into plank pose. And downward dog. Be upside down. Live in this upside down moment. Looking forward, step forward with the opposite foot now. Establish crescent pose. Bring hands to hips and find these slow and subtle pulses where we lift away from the depth of the stretch and exhale, pulse in deeper, pulse in deeper. Exhale forward with the hips. Inhale, reach the arms up, looking up or forward. Look at the space between the palms, maybe bringing palms together, thumbs cross. Circle the arms open and let's move into that side bend, reaching up and over towards the front leg. Looking up, breathing in through the hip and side body. Let the breath be natural. Bring the hands down, walk the foot over to the other side so we can drop the knee, moving into pigeon pose. First, bringing the hands back towards the hips. Let the fingertips press down to get that lift in the heart. Looking up and finding the back bend. Letting the face rest and relax. Letting the head drop back. Breathe in. And let your exhale move you forward, folding over that front leg. Stacking hands to rest forehead on top. Let the hips be heavy. Let the hips release. Every exhale, let go, let go. Shoulders softer. Face and neck softer. Hips, glutes, low back softer. Feel supported by the earth. Let go into gravity. Your next inhale will start to lift up, walk the hands back. Press down in those hands, curl the back toes to lift the front leg back into downward dog. Inhale forward into plank. Bend the elbows, chaturanga, and move through into upward facing dog. Exhale, sit back, child's pose. Wrapping hands down and around, so I'm holding the heels as I sit back to the heels. Doing this rocking gently, a little bit side to side. Comfort, security, safety, acceptance, forgiveness. Bring the hands down to slowly roll up. So we're sitting on those heels, bringing palms into the lap. Take a moment, just close the eyes for a few breaths. Checking in, see how you feel. From here, we're going to move into some Kundalini breathing, bringing hands just onto the thighs, breath of fire. Quick little inhales and exhales. The length of the inhale should match the length of the exhale. Try to stay calm, at peace. Let the diaphragm do the work. Relax the abdomen. Breathe through the nose. Close the eyes. Little inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. We'll try 1 or 2 minutes of this. And this is to build up new energy in the body, to refocus the mind. Return to your natural breathing and let that go. Curling toes into the ground, coming up higher onto knees. We'll visit camel pose. Shoulders on top of knees, on top of hips. Bring the hands to push the hips forward, fingertips up. Looking forward or up or releasing that head all the way behind you. Throat opener, heart opener. If you can, we're going to repeat that breath of fire, the quick inhales and exhales. Keep lifting the collarbone up, pressing the hips forward. Hips on top of knees. Stay calm. Stay sensitive, be gentle. If breath of fire isn't working for you today, normal, deep breathing in and out. Just pumping new blood into the midsection, into those major organs. Getting fresh circulation throughout the body. Take a nice big inhale and take your time. Be slow and gentle as we come out of camel pose. Uncurl the toes, child's pose. Following that vigorous camel pose with a very still and quiet child's pose. Putting breath of fire and child's pose together. Floating the head above the ground, looking down to the mat, so keep the chin in. Can close the eyes. I'm holding on to the heels. You can rest the palms down or float the arms up. And repeat that breath of fire. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. It's a tougher pose to breathe in because the abdomen is pressing into the thighs, so forcing those internal organs to shift around as the breath penetrates the circulatory system. Try to stay with it. Try to be non-reactive. Finally, just taking a nice natural inhale. Exhale, let the forehead drop down, arms and shoulders relax. Rabbit pose is next. I'm bringing a pillow underneath the forehead, the crown of the head, interlacing those arms up and overhead. Hips are on top of the knees, just like in camel. Toes are curled, getting that stretch through the soles of the feet. Be upside down. Breathe into the shoulder opener, the inversion. Just long, deep breaths. Every exhale, reach the arms farther away. Every inhale, openness in the ribs. And find child's pose. Hands rest on low back, making hips heavier, sitting deeper. Coming into a seated straddle position, flexing feet. Reaching up and overhead, side body stretch. I'm placing the bottom hand onto the ribs. Breathing into that space. Sense, if you can, the inhale, expanding the ribs. Exhale, contracting the ribs. Move that elbow to the back of the leg, lean back a little bit, and then reach that top arm to the toes, to the bottom of the foot, to the ankle, wherever you can make contact. Come to center. That reaching arm is crossing over the chest. folding to do a little hug and shoulder stretch. Let's take it to the other side. Reach up and over the leg. Bottom hand to the ribs, providing feedback on how your breath affects the shape of the ribs. Bringing bottom elbow behind the leg, lean it back a little bit. Top hand to the foot. Find that stretch in the outer shoulder, deltoid area. And then open it to the center, and that same top arm is crossing in front. And then folding for the hug. Hug that top arm closer. Maybe some happy words, good vibes, happy thoughts. Inhale, reach the arms up, and exhale, lowering in front of you. Attempting a bear pose. We'll take this in different stages, starting from a seated balance. Hold on to the bottoms of the feet or ankles or shins or calves. And take the feet wider. Take the legs wider than your mat. Challenge 1 is finding a balance. Challenge 2 is looking up to the sky and finding an extension in your low back, so you tip the pelvis forward, finding a little arch in that low back as you look up, heart opener. And bring the legs to center, feet flex, hold and breathe. Release the arms and slowly lower the legs down, finding a seated cross-legged seated pose. One more Kundalini exercise here. Reaching middle finger out to the side. We're going to do those arm circles back and behind. Reach the arms longer, and if you can, apply breath of fire. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Closing the eyes. Lengthen the spine. Keep the arms smooth and graceful to juxtapose that energizing inhale, exhale breath. Feeling the sensation throughout the arms and shoulders. If you feel your low back, draw abdominals in more. Keep the breath going, whether it's breath of fire or long, deep breathing. Bigger, longer circles, using those fingers to draw a heart shape in front of you. Focus on the outline in your mind. The bottom of the heart circling up and in to the top of the heart. Now interlock those middle fingers right in front of heart center. Pull apart. Open the heart. Palms together. Soft inhales and exhales. Feel any tingly sensations. Breathe into those feelings. Inhale, reaching up to the sky, and exhale, spilling forward over the legs. Rest and let it go. Interlacing hands at the low back, let the arms relax. Feel comforted, feel refreshed, feel focused. Breathe into where you are. Come back up sitting tall. Palms together. Think a happy thought or two. Send out a compliment to yourself, to the world, to somebody else. Hands to shoulders and just little rocking motion side to side, little twist. Hoping you feel a little bit better, a little bit stronger, both emotionally and physically. And until next time.